Good day, fams. Good day. It's the man of the hour, known as also ally for women in music around the world. You also know me as Jonva. I just want to say, much love, positive vibes to all our international fams around the world. I want to say thank you much for the love and support that you've given us also for a slice of Canada with my amazing co-pilot and business partner, Wanda Ryan. Now, today we have a special guest and multi-talented artist, singer-songwriter, and friend to the show, Wendy Colonna. Wendy, how are you today?
Hi, Jonva.
Uh,
I'm good. I'm
Good. Well,
today.
that's
How are
good.
you?
Good. Happy Monday. I'm doing great. Living the dream. I know from the last time we connected, you were mentioned that you were hard at work, working on some really incredible projects. And I just want to say, thank you for taking the time to stop over and do the interview today. Congratulations on the Paradigm Project.
Thank you.
You're welcome. You're welcome. But before we delve deeper into the interview, I want to say thank you to our good friend Thea Wood over at Horizon Music for the introductions. And as I often do, I'm going to take my audience seat over here while you share your journey with our international family and tell us about how this came all about that brings us here today.
Well, other than the fact that our dear friend Thea connected us, I think she thought it would be fun for us to chat just because I wear, like you, I wear a bunch of different hats in the music industry. And she thought it might be fun for listeners and artists to kind of hear a little bit about some of the projects that I've got going on,
Mhm.
all the way from recording projects to a couple of other ventures that I have that involve music and community and lifting people up through music in different ways. Yeah.
Good, good. Now I know I came across the Paradigm project that you're working on. So can you share a little bit about that?
Sure. So my last album was released in 2016. No, 2017. And that was during a time when CDs were still things that you could sell at shows, and it was just a different music economy than it is now. And so what I've noticed is that artists are really able to do a lot of different ways of creating content and releasing music. And I wanted to play with a different way for me. So this album is going to be done over a couple of years. I live in Austin, Texas, which is the live music capital of the world. It's a magnet for a lot of different music creatives who come here because we have an incredible community built around the music culture here. And I think it's different than other music cities in that it's really a culture based on collaboration as opposed to competition. And so I've made records over the years, each one with a producer where we work together on a full length album. And I thought, wouldn't it be fun to make an album with all my material, but songs with different teams of musicians from my community, collaborations with like right fit musicians. And since it's such a rich culture with so many talented producers and musicians, I've just really been enjoying working with different teams, exploring different visions for the songs, playing outside the bounds of genre and the supposed tos, and doing one or two singles at a time. So it's been a blast. That's what the project is based on. It's lifting lots of people up through creativity and inspiration and in a different my music and in a lot of different costumes, if you will, a lot of different production ideas.
Okay. Well, thank you for sharing that. Now, as a woman in music, how have you been able to work through the challenges in the industry, confronted by many different scenarios and situations? And how did you kind of put a spin to overcome them with the accolades of success in your career?
You know, I toured for years by myself, and I had bands that I worked with in different markets, different musicians in different markets. And so, as a woman touring by herself around the world, a lot of people were like, oh my gosh, that's crazy. Were you safe? Is that a safe thing to do? And it's got its challenges in that I don't think a lot of do experience in tour life whenever you're by yourself. I mean, everything from making sure that you do all rest stops in brightly lit areas, and you just make sure that you're being overly careful when it comes to just setting yourself up for safety. Like getting back and having gross venue people try to be completely inappropriate after the show and having to navigate that. I'm a mother, and I had 20 years of touring before I started a family. But when I did, I realized that, like my male counterparts, it's just a really different game for women after they begin their families. Not that it's impossible to stay relevant or be in the zone, but it's a different game. It's just a different way of being. I mean, a lot of my guy friends, they like, yeah, they have kids and they keep going. And
Right.
my female friends have a really different story to tell a lot of the time. So for me, it's just been deepening my relationship with what I value
Mhm.
and what brings value to my world and what value I bring to the world, and trying to make sure that I don't overcommit and that I'm really targeting the people who love and appreciate and are transformed by my music the most, with a little bit more limited time and availability as a performer.
Mhm.
And just really also the other part of my life is that I after I had my son, I became a career coach for creatives.
Oh, good.
And so a big part of my creativity now is I do still actively put out music and perform, but I also spend a lot of hours of the day helping other people and a lot of women performers navigate the music business. So it's really been a blessing to sort of lift as I've grown, lift others.
Very
I don't know if
inspiring.
that totally answers your question, but
Oh,
that's
that
part
totally,
of it.
yes. Yeah, that's very inspiring because there's always, I would say, there's a start point and there's always a story behind the story. And like I said, for the audience listen to here, I think that's it's a good reference for them because whether you're a woman or you're a male or anything underneath the sun, this is something that you can embrace and put your arms around. So thank you for sharing that as well. Next question I have for you is how did you navigate your creative spirit during the global pandemic, which there were many setbacks for creatives around the world?
Yeah, I had a teen and a toddler in my house at the same time, and my mother, who was in her 70s. So we had a lot of people to care for in different ways here, and not a lot of privacy or time to write, like not a lot of space and time to. So the way that I worked with it, I was coaching at the time and I stayed to my clients and help them navigate, which is always good for me because coaching is creative for me as well. Sitting and listening to other people's challenges, their wins, and helping them to navigate is always just a good place for me to channel my energy. And then I did a lot of live streams. I did a lot of theme based live streams, thinking about my audience and where their hearts were and what kind of songs would bring them comfort or peace or joy or a sense of okayness during that time. So I channeled a lot of my creativity into finding ways to just stay connected to community with meaning.
Mhm.
Yeah, that's how I did it.
A lot of things has kind of transpired within the music business for 2023. Can you share what your outlook would be potentially for 2024 and beyond? What would you like to see happen?
The music business is this vast sea of just so many different things going on. What I really hope for
Mhm.
the future of the music business is that artists who are creative and really have something powerful to offer parts of the population, offer humanity, if you will, that they can be supported in navigating this new music economy in a way that they will really reach their audience. I think it's a really exciting time for independent artists because there's no one way to make it.
Right.
You can make a really good living with your creative talents if you understand, like as a coach, where I get really lit up is helping people to see that they can create their creativity their career. They really can, if they have really great talent and if they have a message that really resonates with a specific part of the population, there are ways to find those people online, in person, and really connect. You don't have to do it through these sort of mainstream routes anymore. And it's fun because music is about being transformed from the mundane human experience into something that elevates your experience of life through the vibrations, through the words, or through just the energy. And I see that if the future of music is splintered, let's bring it right to the people it needs to go to, you know?
Yeah. Okay. Totally
Let's
agree.
use our creativity to find that.
That's all I would say. We are a community, so all get together and rally to, as I would say, the next level, the next stage of this journey. With that said,
Yeah, why
you know,
not?
yeah, that's the only way it's going to work. You can't do it by yourself. You need the global family to put some momentum behind this. With that said, our international audience is a huge supporter of every guest who comes through the show. And we would like to know, how can we find you and support your projects, whether it's concerts or anything else? So please share that. I'm going to get links from you later when we kind of put this on digital platforms, but please share that.
So, yeah, I'm available. My stuff is available everywhere. Um, for support, looks best through joining the mailing list so that you get dibs on the new material. Even better, looks like if you really like the material I'm creating, joining my Patreon family is great because every penny that I get from that I put into producing new music.
Mhm.
So that it just keeps happening over the years. That's just kind of one of the ways and the new material and it's coming to life. And in terms of, I'll give you the link for my coaching business. If anybody is a creative out there and they want that kind of support, I do have some room right now on my calendar. And I am creating a course that will be available internationally to help artists bridge the gap between their creative artistry and their creative entrepreneurship. So that's on the horizon for next year. So just joining my mailing list is probably the best way to stay in touch and support and know what's coming next.
That's great. Now, this one, it's a very simple request. And as we come to a close, I would like you to share a quote that will inspire our listeners as they navigate through life's journey with inspiration and hope of achieving their dreams. So take a moment to kind of ponder on this. And when you're ready, you can deliver.
Okay. I have a quote that is probably one of my favorites by Rumi, who is a Sufi mystic poet from 700 plus years ago.
That's right.
So this is one of my favorites. It's really hard to pick a favorite of his, but I really love it because I believe very, very much in my experience as an artist who's started in the music business with record contracts this thick and in the 90s up till now when we live in this really wild west of the new music economy where anything is possible if you can find your people and bring them, and use some of the entrepreneurial mindset and create it, use your talents to really reach your people. I believe artists have a lot more agency than they ever have before in a lot of ways. And so this is the quote that I will leave with you. Your task is not to seek for love, but merely to seek and find all the barriers within yourself that you have built against it.
Nice.
Because I think that if we can get out of our own ways, we can do amazing things, and the world needs what we're creating. And so we need to get out of the way and find that route.
I totally agree. Well said, because there's so many different layers of just things happening in the planet. We all need a sense of direction, and to hear something that will give us hope, as I say, on all levels. I don't say goodbye. I always will ask my guests to come back and see what you're doing, and to also, as I say, spread some shine on that. And it's just inspiring. And I just want to say again, thank you for taking the time, and I wish you much success in what you're doing. We're going to be chatting anyway beyond this, but I'm very thankful to finally do this because we've been so busy with our schedule, but we made it happen because the universe said, you know what, it's gonna happen. But until again, you have an amazing week and continue being great.